Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now on with the show.
Reborn, a segment of the Prime and Tech Files, which of course is a Southgate Media Group podcast. I am Lilith, and on the hunt for specials, enhanced humans, evos, twins, in a place where humans can just thrive.
It's Ricky, yo.
Up for discussion today is episode 109. It's called Sundae Bloody Sundae. Only they didn't live up to that promise.
Well, it is. It's not like Sunday is in the name Sunday. It's the ice cream sundae, and they did kind of live up to that because, you know, there was an explosion of ice cream. So yeah, it wasn't bloody though, but it was red. So.
It was ice cream abuse. I do not approve. It was directed by Gideon Raff and was written by Marisha Mukherjee and Sharon Hoffman. And I believe Ricky has a brief and concise synopsis for us today.
Joanne holds Emily hostage, which leads to a confrontation with Emily and Luke. Meanwhile, Carlos and Deering infiltrate Sunstone Manor and discover why nobody ever wants to leave.
Ooh, these ratings though. Like, ouch. It's getting, well, I mean, even Bones got more viewers. And Bones is like in its 11th season. It got a 1.1 in the demo, and it was about 3,770,000 people watching. Guys, come on. Rally around the show. If you're not watching it live, please watch it on the app or the website.
At least it hasn't gone below 3.5 yet, so that's something.
Where you want to start with this weird, odd, damn near fillery episode?
Start with the whole hero truther thing and everyone who's involved with that, I guess, because it's not a lot, but, you know, it kind of gives us some, not answers, but some little surprises. So, it starts off with Taylor. She's on the run. She's dyed her hair a nice red. There was also, like, a picture that she showed where she had, like, a picture of, like, the wigs that she was using, and one was red, one was blonde, and one was brunette. What do you think about the wig game?
Better than Arrow. Not as good as How to Get Away with Murder.
And she's in LA, and she gets a message from the hero truther, and off she goes to try and find him. Who do you think? Well, we obviously know who hero truther is, but who do you think sent the message? Because I think from what we're led to believe is that hero truther or Micah is at Sunstone Manor. So
I think it's Katya Stanik's character. Who was it, Hannah?
Yeah, let's go with that. Or maybe it's the other girl who they showed. That weird kind of...
Dahlia?
No. Dahlia was there,
yes.
But it was the other one who like opened her eyes and then like flickered, like the human projector.
Oh, yeah, maybe her. I just like to think it's Hannah because all the old characters are infinitely better for the most part.
Anyway, she makes her way and she gets quote unquote taken, and then she's tested by the hero truther. What did you think about that whole scene? Were you taken in by seeing Erica, or did you know straight away that it was a false?
Yeah, I think I felt like something wasn't right, and that couldn't be what it was. So I was just like, okay. I
think another thing which was really weird was the fact that last episode when we saw her, she had a cane, which I really liked because it showed that, you know, there was that kind of butterfly thing which kind of happened, and in this episode she seems fairly fine.
Yeah, right? She's shooting Bambi and stuff.
I know, right? And then the other guy who got shot in the foot is walking around with with one crutch. So I don't know. I just thought it was something weird. Like maybe it was something that was added in at the end. The fact that she had a cane. It was before they shot this after they shot this episode or something. I don't know. Anyway, and then we find out that the Haitian is alive, which I think we all kind of... Were you surprised by it? Because I kind of
No.
expected it.
Because we knew he was coming back. And so since we've changed the timeline, yeah, he's still alive. But the other memory wiper had to die. Two memory wipers cannot exist.
Exactly. But there was something I was thinking about as I was watching this episode. And one of the things about the first like Heroes Prime that we always had issue with was that they would never they never would kill off a character. And it seems like they've gone back to that, right? Because Quentin died, the Haitian died, and they're both back. So maybe we'll see Caspar later on.
I don't think so. He did. He gone.
Yeah, he did. Why's the fat bald man gotta die?
I know, right?
What's up? Anyway.
Hollywood!
They talk about Micah being the founder of their movement, and basically they meet the human projector, and they work out, well, they kind of, like, they ask Taylor where they think she would be held, and she says it's probably Sunstone Manor, the place where her mum, like, bought and made her first million. So yeah, and that leads us to next episode, I guess, because it ended there. So, the Kravitz household. Let's go to that. So it starts off with Richard and Erica talking about the gateway and the engineer, and not hearing from the engineer in a while. And I was thinking that that's obviously, you know, the people who kind of teleported away in the episode before they went back in time. You know, they had all those people. Yeah. They had all those people who kind of teleported away. And then they also say that there's less than a week till, you know, the Healy arrives. Yes. And Erica, she wants Tommy now. And they say that, you know, they're pooling their resources to try and find someone who can help them. And she's just like, well, you know, Tommy, we know he's around, so he's going to help us, whether he wants to or not. And all the while, you know, she's just calmly talking to Richard, pulls out a gun, walks out, and shoots Bambi in the face. And yeah.
And everybody knows if you want good venison, you don't shoot Bambi, you shoot Bambi's mother. Just saying, as a person who eats venison.
She also says, you know, while she's doing her whole farm to table thing, which she's...
I was like, what is this, Chipotle? Really?
She says she grew up on a farm, but then she also says the population can only be preserved if there are resources to maintain the survival, which I think kind of is part of her plan. Obviously, she's sending all this stuff into the future, and that's why she's kind of, you know, started this thing. And something else that she brings up was the whole, you know, Cloney McGinty comes in. He says, have you found, you know, she's looking for a daughter. And she says, do you know, obviously Hero Truth has got them. Do they know what we're using Micah Sanders for? So, you know, they've obviously got him and they're using him for something. I guess we won't know until episode 11.
But we really do consider what his power is. They even explained exactly what his power was. Like, usually they were really vague about it, but now they're just like, nah, here it is. Everything digital. If it's got electronic signal,
yeah. And then the last bit of the Kravitz household is having a nice venison dinner with Tommy, who has been captured, whilst the Fradys look on and create a nice little mood lighting.
I'm sorry, but I'm here for evil Team Frady Cat. Like, whatever. We could just make a whole little spinoff. That's what that's what the second season is. They screw over Erica and they take over the world. Team Evil Frady Cats. Let's get it.
Next up, we can talk quickly about the future, I guess, or 7,957 years into the future, to be exact. What did Graham say that year was? Like 9,000?
9,972, and he was correct. Good job on the math, Graham.
Heroes Wiki also brought up a good little fact, which was 7,957 is the birthday of Tim Crane. So that's probably why they chose that far into the future. Anyway, we move on into the future. Apparently Miko's there, and it seems like life is starting to come back because obviously she finds a butterfly. She takes a quick walk, and she finds what I believe is to be Gateway that, you know, Eric has been looking at. That picture of Gateway, which looks like where they've been sending everything into the future.
My question is it Miko, aka Katana Girl, or did she get to become a real girl, or is she still the computer?
I think it depends on how long she's been there, because we know, you know, she can survive for a year at least, just sitting down doing nothing.
Right.
We don't know how long she's been there. I don't know. I think
if it's attached to the game and the way that it works, it would almost have been instantaneously or something like that, maybe.
I think as soon as she, you know, used the key in the door, she got transported to the future because, you know, it's a time travel thing. and Hero was there. So yeah, maybe it was like the last kind of time that he was going, because you know that they were using his powers to kind of send everything into the future. Maybe that's what happened when she put the key in. It was like the last kind of time that he used his, like they were able to use his power, and they pushed her into the future. So I'm guessing it's her, as in the computer sprite. But also we get a slight, talking about Miko, we get a slight shot of Ren as he's trying to log into Ever now, but the game is down. So yeah, he just, you know, sad face is...
Guess you're gonna have to go fap off somewhere else, sir.
Okay, let's move on to the hospital, I guess. Starts off with Anne talking to Tommy. She wants to give him a normal life. Tommy says he can now handle it after, you know, going to France and kissing a girl. And that is, you know, the reason why he can handle all this kind of stuff now, apparently. We get a quick family reunion with Granddad and grandson.
Papa Bennett.
He gets a quick phone call, which tells him that his girlfriend is getting, you know, attacked. He makes a run for it. And when he comes back, it's the Frady Cat reunion. Again, evil Team Frady. And, you know, they straight up just take him. What did you think about it?
I like it. I really do. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I like it. I like an anti-hero. I like a villain.
Yeah.
And he was just so lovable and sweet. And I think it's really awesome for actors specifically when they get to just be able to change their character midstream, you know?
I think his kind of podcast and kind of like his Adult Swim kind of stuff shows that he can play that kind of evil, kind of lovable kind of guy, because, you know, of what it's all about. But yeah, I quite liked it, but then I was also at the same time like when HRG had the gun to Phoebe and Quentin was like, I'll shoot your grandson. I really was expecting like HRG to just straight up kill her and then just be like, you ain't gonna kill my grandson, you need him. So yeah, but of course we've got a more chilled grandpapa HRG, I guess.
Family makes you weak.
Quentin says he's been doing what he's always been doing, which is working with Renatus to save the world, and Tommy gets taken. So that is the end of that. Move on over to Moes, where everything kind of comes to a head. The Burnt Toast Diner 2.0. So,
Annette is going to be mad about that mess.
I know, right? She should have come in at the end of everything and been like, who's going to clean this mess up? Sorry, that was a really bad accent, but yeah, anyway. It seems like Emily and Tommy are a full-blown couple. I wonder what Jake Manley / Brad thinks about that.
I was like, I don't remember her breaking up with him.
Yeah. No, the last time I remember seeing him was when the three of them were at the hospital. Yeah. Oh. No, it was when they were at the hospital after he had the accident, and that was it. And the only thing that can lead me to believe that, you know, that they had broke up was the fact that she told him that he was being a bit of an idiot when he was like, you know, after they broed out. I really can't remember what he said, but he did say something.
I think Tommy teleported him to a volcano. That's my personal headcanon.
Caspar says he needs to tie up loose ends. And what did you think about that? Did you think he was going to, like, erase Emily's mind? Because that's the kind of vibe I got.
Me too, right?
And then he had the chance to do it, and then he just stopped.
Well, you know, love can help a hero.
I suppose.
Blech. I know. I'm just saying. It's tea.
Anyway, we get a quick Malina Luke road trip where they have a talk about... They have a quick talk about destiny and fate and how they were brought together. Malina is trying to figure out Luke because he keeps on talking about his kind of quote-unquote lost purpose. We have a little jokey kind of thing with a cheese and tomato sandwich. And the kind of tomato rant that he goes on, it felt like really like old kind of Luke. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you get the tomato and it goes and it infects
I literally have never had that problem ever in life, by the way.
But it sounded like he was talking like Hunter Luke again, like, you know, you've got this thing that enters, like, you've got this thing and then it just infects and like the seeds get everywhere and it makes everything, it ruins everything. And it felt like, to me anyway, it felt like he was slipping back into Hunter Luke and just talking about Evos and how they enter the population and just ruin it for humanity. So, but that was just me.
Like humanity ruins it for everything else in their ecosystem. Well, whatever.
Exactly.
Don't get me started.
So they carry on their road trip. We get reminded that Luke was a dentist because, you know, pardon me, he tells her that she'd rot her teeth eating all the kind of sweets.
He probably Tommy
And
gave away toothbrushes for Halloween.
They both bond over movie night. So like Malina says, you know, that was the only time she kind of felt connected to the world in the convent that she was in. I wonder how many people were at this convent, because I think it was just her, right?
Seems like it.
And he says they bonded with their son because they used to take him out to movie night, and that's the only time he felt normal. And it seems like they have that kind of connection with that. Then we move on back over to Moes, where Joanne comes in, and she almost picks up the penny, but doesn't pick up the penny. So that's why, you know, she doesn't get her mind wiped. And I think what's very interesting is Caspar like starts talking to her, and he's like, you know, all you have to do is pick up the penny. And she looks like she's going to do it. And she, you know, she looks like, you know, she's like, oh, I've had enough. Maybe I should just kind of forget all this kind of stuff. And it looks like she's about to do it. And then all of a sudden Tommy comes in and ruins everything because she doesn't. And then, Caspar gets shot.
And then Malina, oh my, like you had one job, stay in a freaking car.
Which felt kind of like an ode to Chuck, because he was told that a lot, wasn't he? I bet he felt really good about saying that. Anyway, then Luke comes in, and you know they have a little standoff. He says he only killed he only killed for her, not to feel better like she did. And it seems like Joanne kind of is welcoming death, because you know she says she'll shoot the girl and he'll shoot her. It's that kind of Mexican standoff. Tommy stops time, and I think what's very interesting is like she's shot, and then she's literally just got her eyes closed, waiting for like the, I guess, flame to kind of hit her. And yeah, she says she'd rather be with Dennis or something like that. In the time stop, Tommy sees Malina, and Joanne makes a run for it, gets picked up by Clee Bennett, Cloney McGinty. HRG meets Malina, and I don't know if Malina and Luke are like kind of still together at this point, because, you know, it felt like that they were going to be like a partnership, but as soon as like his wife's there, he kind of runs off and runs after her. Like when the police are coming, he like looks at his wife and he looks at Malina and he just runs after his wife. It was really weird, so I guess it's something we'll have to see.
He's gotten Malina to Papa Bennett. Goodbye.
Fair enough. So yeah, what did you think about all that kind of Moe's Burnt Toast Diner 2.0?
Boo. Caspar died. How can I be happy? He was the best thing about that.
What do you think it is about Joanne that everyone kind of just dislikes?
She's supposed to be the villain, and she revels in it, and you know, that's just, I mean, it's necessary for the story, supposedly.
For me, I think I just said, like, you know, I think I was tweeting to someone about it during the thing, and I was like, you know, they said, I hate Matt Parkman, I hate Scary Spice, why don't they just disappear? And I'm like, well, you know, they're the villains. They're supposed to be hated.
But you know what it is? They're over the top villainy. Do you know what I mean? Like twirl a mustache, tie a girl to the tracks kind of villainy. And that it's 2015, and it's just like no room in the world for that. Everything is gray. So why is your villain straight up all black?
Racist.
I don't mean like that. I mean like
I know. I'm
joking. Just so we're clear.
I know.
And then the other villain is fat. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't really care for those tropes.
I don't know if I like it, but I like the fact that, you know, they've gone back to, it feels kind of like Samuel Sullivan, only less charismatic.
I was going to say,
in the fact
don't you ever compare that to the Nets.
Exactly. But, you know, how he was just pretty much a straight up evil kind of character. Like, once he got going, he was just straight up evil. And I like the fact that, you know, they're not morally graying up someone, because someone at the same time, when I said, you know, you're meant to hate the villains, they went, well, Silo was a villain, we didn't hate him. And I'm like, well, at first you did. It wasn't until like season 2 where they started developing a bit more, or it wasn't until they, you know, gave him that kind of feed me Seymour mother thing going on that, you know, everyone kind of felt sorry for him. So yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Anyway, let's get on to Sunstone Manor. How did you feel about the opening scene with Carlos waking up from
his hashtag rapey time? Like, and Dirty Deering's just smiling, and I'm like, you might want to check yourself out when you get a chance, Carlos. Poor Carlos.
All right. But this was like probably one of the episodes that had him in it the most, and it kind of did. I kind of liked him throughout this. But yeah, anyway, it seems like they are really working together. They've got like comm links and everything, but I don't understand why, he made him drink that thing. But I don't understand why he did that, and like Dirty Deering did that in the first place.
He's a bastard.
I suppose, but they're still working together. And it feels like they're working together like properly, like they're on the same side. It's not just like, I want my money back. It feels like Dirty Deering actually wanted to make a difference.
No, I didn't get that at all.
Fair enough. They arrive, bring him in to kind of get him tested, and then they say, it's a lot more busy in that Sunstone Manor.
They're looking for
like
time
people
travelers.
Yeah, they're getting bonuses for like time travelers and people with like useful abilities, which obviously was a kind of world kind of building thing with Erica saying, she wants to try and find a time traveler instead of Tommy or whatnot. You can tell it's Renatus owns because they have the yellow shirts with the R on it, but I think it's a bit obvious anyway.
Dude, those shirts look like when I worked in IT for a certain corporation. I was just like, oh God, make it go away.
The quote unquote director is over the loudspeaker. He seems to be affecting specials. Like, that was weird, right?
Yeah.
Or do you think it was?
I thought it was Matt personally.
Oh yeah, I know it was obviously Matt, but I was just wondering how. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it because obviously it was Matt doing the talking over the loudspeaker, and only specials were being kind of. Maybe it's the shirts. Maybe if you're a white shirt, you get affected. Maybe if you're in a yellow shirt, you don't. It was just really weird.
Maybe they have like those cerebral like bracelets or something or rings or something that interrupts the connection.
I know, but the thing is, like, he didn't, Carlos didn't. He was able to walk out and not be affected by it at that point.
Because he doesn't have powers.
Yes, that's why I'm hoping for. Still, they still keep on playing about with it, or people still keep on thinking that he does. But anyway, everyone's kind of seeing their own kind of perfect life. Like Jose sees Oscar, and Oscar's saying we can be like a crime fighting duo together.
Robin,
exactly.
Or Kick-Ass. More like
Kick-Ass. Exactly. And Father Maurizio is just like, I've seen the other side and it's great. Why would I leave? So yeah.
Poor bastards.
And then at this point, Parkman has Deering, and basically Nathan's him and says, you've got powers and you hate yourself because of it. You can choose your own punishment. And he just ends up shooting himself with an imaginary gun. So who knows if he's who knows?
What is this? Is this hell?
I know, right?
This is hell.
Anyway, so Parkman gets Carlos, says he isn't an Evo. I think that's actually very important because hopefully he isn't an Evo. Anyway, and we've got hashtag Evil Parkman, who everyone hated on Twitter. Everyone hated. They were like, Matt, why are you doing this? And it's like, well, he kind of said it in the last episode. So
I mean, we saw. Did you not? Well, it must have been newbies because I was like 5 years gone. They totally wanted to go that route with him, and I can appreciate them doing that.
Yeah, I really liked it. It's kind of like I didn't mind people coming back, but I wanted something different from them. Like, we've got Hero, and he wasn't the typical hero we knew. We got like future Hero, and Parkman, we got that 5 years gone Parkman, the only one who kind of is still the same as Mahinda. But enough said about that.
I just was expecting like Janice and baby Matt Parkman Jr. just to come around the corner and they're just this wonderfully evil family. Like, that's my headcanon that they're somewhere on Sunset Manor.
So he gives Carlos a chance to decide his own punishment, and we kind of see what happened to Carlos. We kind of knew, but this is like the visual of him hiding. But at the same time he doesn't shoot himself, and I don't know whether that's because Carlos doesn't think he deserves the punishment of killing himself, or if it's because Matt sees that he knows Farah Nazan and wants to use that. So who knows? Yeah, so that's basically the end of that.
So wait,
and
is Fairy Godmother still alive? I mean,
she's got to be. I've seen pictures of.
Okay.
I've seen pictures of like Ryan Guzman and co have sent out pictures, and it's from the rap, and it's basically Farah, him, Micah, and Jose, all standing together with squad goals on their back. So I think they're going to be like a little superhero team / thing in the next couple of episodes, which kind of is good because it links everything together. So yeah. But yeah, that's basically everything that happens. I mean, there's nothing much else really to talk about, is there?
Who was your favorite character?
Oh, Evil Matt Parkman. I loved Evil Matt Parkman. I thought he was great. Apart from that tweet that you sent out about him being an evil asshole eating guy, that sounded really weird.
That's why I tweeted it from my personal one. I don't know if you guys, where I get that from is I don't know if you guys watch Cinema Sins, but like every time somebody's like eating an apple or something, it's like, oh, it looks like the director told him, hey, eat this apple so you can look like more of an a-hole. It's like a really big trope in TV and movies.
I know. And I was like, I never saw him doing that. But anyway, how about you?
This is a toughie. I am going to go with just evil Team Freddy.
Yeah, they were really good together. It was nice seeing them back together.
A family that slays together stays together.
I'm gonna go with them for my my little character interaction. Yeah, because it was nice seeing them back together, and they had so much confidence in each other. That they were gonna do it, and they did. And then just like at the end of it, like just her doing creating the mood lighting while he just stands there. I dug them together.
My favorite character interactions are Team Free Micah and Taylor. I just like that scene. I don't know why. It just kind of worked, and she's just kind of sitting there like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. I hate that witch.
Yeah. I also like the fact that we're getting more Evos, and we don't have to know their names.
Oh, well, I do know her name.
As long as we know that.
The image projection lady's name is Deidre.
Yeah. So. Okay. But I like, the fact that we're getting more Evos with more, different powers for once. I liked, the shapeshifter kind of thing, or the illusion caster. I don't know what it was. And, yeah, I like the human projector. I thought that was a really cool power. So, yeah.
Just how
do you...
Battlefield 4 on that.
Do you have any favorite lines?
Not really. The dialogue is not what stuck out in this episode. How about you?
Oh, I've got ironic, huh? Meant to save the world, and you can't even get yourself a choco bar. And then Quentin just gives it a good old Fonz to the machine and gets a chocolate, which is called Chocopocalypse, which is a bit ironic, seeing as
on the nose for me.
Yeah. And Parkman on Deering, hunting your own kind for money. That is a new low. At least I have a higher purpose. And I'm like, really? Really?
Really,
Parkman? So yeah.
And don't you ever put hashtag poor Parkman ever again when it comes to Heroes Reborn.
It can't be, yeah. It has to be evil Parkman. Straight up evil Parkman. And I loved it. But yeah. So yeah, how about a grade?
I'll be scandalous and I'll say a C-. It's just because those last two episodes were such a high, and I know I'm used to coming down from it, and we have to reset the story. We've got our new mission goals, but man, this was brutal.
I'm gonna go with a B-. I still dug the episode for what it was. It's that kind of not fillery, but that kind of resetting of the chessboard kind of thing. And we got a couple of little nice moments in it. So yeah, I guess I'll go with a B-. Yeah. So we'll move on to Easter eggs. There was obviously the Mahinda voiceover with a cockroach as well. We had the gateway, which is obviously a little thing in Dark Matters, which came up. We had the name Hiro Nakamura. The Helix showed up. The Haitian came back and said, I'm just one of the hunted, which was a nice little Easter egg to Micah returning in Dark Matters. We got Micah Sanders, obviously brought up. Quentin straight up fonzing it. Tommy moving things around in stopped time, much like Hero first did. And as you said, the butterfly. So yeah. World building. Evernow is now down. One of the news reports says that a commercial jetliner had an emergency landing because of the navigational system going awry. They blame a geomagnetic anomaly at fault because of they don't know where True North is. Yes. And El Vengador spray painted on the floor when Taylor gets taken. Questions, burning questions. What happened to Brad is one of them.
Sorry, Jake Manley. You knew you were going to lose your girl.
Is Carlos an Evo?
No.
Please, people, get over it. Okay, why does Joanne want to kill Tommy so bad?
Because that's the mission where everything fell apart for her and Luke.
Oh, fair enough, okay. If everyone in Sunstone Manor kind of sees, their perfect life, do you reckon Micah sees Nikki and DL?
No, he sees his dad and Nikki's dead.
does everyone get their memories back now that Caspar is dead?
No.
Fair enough. Anyway.
I don't think so. Why would they?
Yeah, I think
they wouldn't. I mean, they have to touch the penny to get it back too, right?
Yeah, I'd assume so. And theory crafting, Gateway is in the future. That's what Miko found. That's it. Nice.
Cool beans.
So we'll talk quickly about the trailer because there's no Inside the Eclipse. Scandalous.
Really?
I know, right? Someone at NBC is going to get fired for not putting it up. Anyway, the trailer has them going into the future. Tommy apparently seems to be given a choice as to whether to help or not. Malina seems like she's stopping something. Has the Healy arrived? And it ends with one of your favourite heroes dying, maybe. And we're led to believe it might be HRG. So, yeah.
Dude, if they do that, like, there's no chance of another, like, there's no second chances. Let's just be real. Jack Coleman is Heroes at this point, and Heroes Reborn. So if they do that, like, I'll be more, obviously way more pissed than what they did to Molly.
And that's basically it. The comics also come out, but I think I will leave it for a week to let everyone get settled.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Did you pick it up on your lunch break?
Yeah, definitely, I did. Yeah, so that's basically it. So we'll go on to emails. We'll start off with Ladies Vice Virtue, who says, I think Matt's descent into darkness makes sense. He's always been super ambitious and kept getting held back. Now he's the quote-unquote director and he has all the power he ever wanted, all the esteem he could ever get. Noah Gray KV's promo photo on the photo stream shown to Taylor, it was him in a white shirt, probably indicating he may be one of the brainwashed. Still not 100% if Carlos is Evo or just a badass human. I think it's obvious. Yeah, badass human. Noah Gray or, Micah is at Sunstone Manor. I think it's obvious. He is going to be one of the brainwashed, and they're using him for his powers. And I also like Matt's descent into darkness because, he said it in the last episode. He was tired of getting stepped on. He knew he could be one of the most powerful people in the world, and he just, accepted the fact and got paid. What?
He is American. Capitalism rules our hearts.
Next up, we have T Blessed Stanley. I'd grade that epi a B+. Not a lot of fluff/junk, good thing. Nice reveals and twists, good things. Questions were answered, but rant Caspar really didn't have to die, and especially not like that. I'm pretty salty about Caspar. I was starting to really like him. Luke was legit going to turn his wife into Sunny D, hence the plus.
That was fun.
Hence the plus. That epi was reminiscent of Heroes Prime. Teasers, twists, and all the main characters had screen time. # must rewatch. So yeah, I kind of agree. Well, not about the B+. I gave it a B-, but I kind of agree with most of the stuff you brought up. Something else I kind of wanted to bring up was when Caspar is talking to Joanne about memories and, wanting to help her. I kind of got the vibe that he erased his own memory of maybe about his wife because of, what we learnt about, him. But maybe that's just me. That is just me, isn't it? You didn't think about it.
That's just your headcanon. It's okay. It's okay to have headcanons.
Okay, next up, copy of Clara. Really loved tonight's episode. It keeps getting better and better. Next week is the full finale. It's going to be crazy. Yes, it's going to be crazy because there's a full finale with a miniseries. What do you think about that?
Exactly, Ricky. When you told me that, I was like, wait, what? Why did we even start at the beginning? Like, we should have just... Ugh.
Yeah, I think it's really strange. Maybe they just have to catch up with editing it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think a lot of the last 3 episodes have a lot of post-production to go through.
And you know what? That's great, because I'm hoping we get kick-ass fight.
They're going to close the door in the final minutes of the last episode, and Ricky's going to break his TV.
It will be like all those movies where something bad happens. I'll be standing up, I'll get down on my knees, and I'll be like, no! At like 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, anyway. Next up, we have Electioner1, who says, Deering is not dead. Pistol was just a visualized, just like Carlos's weapon. So yeah, once again, I think that might be the case. Or, how did he shoot himself with an imaginary gun?
Or Dylan has to go back
to
Orphan Black. I don't watch that show anymore.
Oh no, he died. No, he died in that as well. So he died.
Dang.
He died in 2 fairly popular shows in the same year. Pingu112 says, every damn day, Heroes Reborn. This show hits the target always. Yes.
I'm glad you think that, and I hope a lot more people think that as well.
Yes. Two sides, one coin. I gotta say, die Parkman, die. Parkman just rocketed up the list to the top of the list. People he could fit in with How to Get Away with Murdercast. I have no idea. I've never watched How to Get Away with Murder. So.
Oh, you need to.
Do
Ricky, yes, you need to go on Netflix the next weekend and watch it. Watch the first season. It is so good.
Okay. Anyway, Fall for Callum says, how did Matt become a villain? We've said it already. He basically got tired of being stepped on and...
About that bling in the cha-ching.
Exactly. He just sold out for the money, which is a decent enough reason in a land where your people are being hunted for sport, essentially. Next, the nerdy girl SX says, I was completely shocked by Matt Parkman. I think it was quite a
saw that glimmer of hope in the last episode, and I saw it, to see that didn't mean a damn thing. Yeah, I think it's what had a lot of people like, aw.
Next up, we have X Simran San2X says, I need to know what happened to Hero. He's got to be alive. I don't know.
That it doesn't matter because they said he got away when Cloney McGinty was talking to Erica. It's like, doesn't matter. Time he's got his power. We don't need him anymore.
Yeah, I suppose.
So he lives
somewhere. Now. Yeah. Hot Silly Girl says, I love the show. Great live tweeting with you. Hopefully they'll get a season 2. So yeah, I kind of hope they get a season 2 as well. Next up, Ellison Borgia says, tonight episode was so good. I got amazed with the connections. The scene at the ice cream parlor was my favorite. They did an awesome job with the effects, but I broke into pieces when Nathan didn't take Malina with him. Noah hugging Malina at the end was nostalgic, reminding me of Claire. I also got curious to Carlos's story. It's starting to get interesting. I also managed to understand Erica/Renata's side a little bit. I can't wait for next episode. I'm dying to know what happens or will happen, is happening with Miko. Yeah. Because Carlos hasn't been your favorite story, has it?
I mean, and I love Ryan. That's the thing. And I was just like, I just feel like there could be so much more to it. And then when they introduced the fact that Farrah could have been his like lady love, I was like, we didn't lead with that story.
But what do you think about this episode where, it's starting to get more into him?
I mean, I respect him for trying to save his nephew and Father Maurizio. I do.
Okay. But you're still
he's not a coward anymore, so that's a good tournament.
That's always good. Next up, we have from Facebook, Danica Stocking. I forgot to tweet with y'all this week, but the episode was very good. I got goosebumps, and I felt like Tommy always had a gun to his head. That's scary. Erica needs to leave Tommy alone. Scared for Tommy because I don't want him to go to the dark side if Erica makes it look good. Praying Tommy sees past Erica and saves the world with Malina. And oh my god, the preview with HRG's broken glasses. The whole episode is good, but sad there's going to be a break. Don't want to wait for more episodes. Full finale coming this week. Yes, we've just talked about the stupidness of having the full finale, but hopefully, it will gain interest.
Let's be real, no.
Okay.
It always hurts a show, especially when it's a quote-unquote mini-series. This is crazy. This is craziness.
Anyway, we'll finish off with English Idiot 101. So much happened in this episode. We finally got to see where Carlos's nephew and priest were being held, and Matt is running it. Seriously, what happened to him? Micah finally got a mention. Can't wait to see him again. And the Haitian is back somehow. I like it, but I want answers. How? Joanne is now fully lost it, but at least Luke tried to save everyone. I just want to know what happens next week. This has been so good. It has not disappointed. That's Charlie for you.
I think she practices diplomacy like I do.
Yes, definitely. Once again, you can see Lilith on Entertainment Tonight with Graham. I will put a link in the description. So yes, she was very diplomatic this episode. Very diplomatic.
And I was diplomatic on the podcast for the most part.
So yeah, that's basically it.
Looks like it's time for some shameless plugs and self-promotion. We'll start with the show contact info. We here at Primatech Files love listener feedback. If you would like to get a hold of us, we have a ton of ways. You can email us via primatechfiles@gmail.com. You can leave us a private message or interact with our posts over on facebook.com/primatechfiles. We live tweet 2 episodes per week every Saturday starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For more information, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Primatech Files. You can also find us on Clamor, Tumblr, and YouTube by simply searching for Primatech Files. If you enjoy this podcast, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. What's that? You don't have an iTunes account? That's okay. We're on a lot of podcatcher services such as Stitcher and SoundCloud. All you have to do is search for, you guessed it, Primatech Files. We're also on Libsyn, and if you want to follow our RSS feed there, all you have to do is go to primatechfiles.libsyn.com and bookmark the site to stay up to date with this podcast. Libsyn is spelled Libsyn, just in case you were wondering. We look forward to interacting with you.
If you love our podcast, be sure to check out Southgate Media Group's iTunes provider page to see a list of what other podcasts are hot and trending in our network. Or you can take that one step further and visit southgatemediagroup.com, where you can find a full list of our 80-plus podcasts, along with weekly blogs and information about all the hosts. With so many podcasts that cover everything from anime to wrestling, there's sure to be tons of podcasts that could interest you.
Hey guys, you should know by now that you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. If you have a Tumblr, be sure to check out it's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. And of course, be sure to swing by my blog if you are a pop culture junkie or comic book geek at littlepopculturevulture.blogspot.com. I also host several other podcasts on the Southgate Media Group network. Some of them are The Flashpoint, Queen Consolidated, and Channel 52. So if you are into, obviously, DC comic book related stuff, be sure to check it out.
You can find my writings at tvbinges.com. It's a place for all your binge watching needs, and you can also create your own TV binge and we'll help promote it. We do a monthly binge watch, which you're more than welcome to join in. Just go to their Twitter at tvbinges just to find out more information. You can find me on Twitter at RickyJDiaz. That's RickyJDiaz, or Z if you're American.
And now it's time to wrap it up. We hope you enjoyed this discussion on episode 109, Sundae Bloody Sundae. We hope you found it informative and entertaining. Please do keep sending in those emails. Don't forget to live tweet with us if you can stay up that late. So yeah, Ricky, do the thing.
Keep the rebellion alive.